Hello everybody, I'd like to share another junk journal that I just finished. I'll just tell you up front here that I struggle every time I do a journal. I'm kind of a nervous, edgy person, but my dad had been sick the last several weeks and he passed away last week, so my nerves are just shot. I'm tired and just a lot on my mind, as you know, and I did want to get this journal finished and get it posted, so I'm going to take a shot at it here. You've heard me say before, if you follow along, that blue is my favorite color, and it's just kind of ironic that I finished this just as my dad passed, because his favorite color was blue as well. But this journal was actually inspired by this piece of fabric that I saw at a Hobby Lobby store. You know how it is when you go in with a list, and I'd gotten what was on my list, but out of the corner of my eye I spotted this piece of fabric, and I got enough that I thought I could work up a journal cover, which I did. I really had a hard time coming up with a design that didn't cover up all these pretty details, but I think I did it here. And I've got a 2 signature journal, and I've cut up a doily and some fabric pieces here and layered some vintage buttons, some more scraps of fabric and lace, and some eyelet down the spine, some vintage buttons where I tied the signatures on, and there's the back. And we'll just take a quick run through here so you can see what's inside this beautiful blue journal. And there I used the quilted fabric inside, some more fabric to reinforce where the signatures are attached, and lots of blues in here, and lots of collaging of papers. And again, after taking the class, the Amity Bloom class from Nazi, I'm learning to layer and create these cascading layers at the bottoms and the edges and the top, and it's really made a difference in the appearance of my journals, and I'm really enjoying making these. And this is a book page, and I'm using my embosser more on some cardstock, and I like that effect too. And here I've layered a piece of fabric. I've got a little mini journal with some stenciling in the corners and a little bit of modeling paste there at the top, learning to use that as well. Excuse me. And some layering down here, some eyelet and lace. And this pretty page is from the last journal that I made, and I photographed the inside cover that had some beautiful embroidered linens and fabric in it. And I just photographed it, worked it up a little in Photoshop, and made a page of it, and I really like that page. And here I've got another book page, a pocket with some space for journaling. Better put that back or I won't know where it belongs. Into that pocket, coffee dyed papers. This flips out. And I've got some washi tape here, just layering of paper. This is a piece of butterfly fabric, a fabric page, and here I've layered some scraps of fabric and some buttons and some spots to journal with some stitching. I've collaged some papers for the back there. There's lots of space to journal and add paper ephemera in this. I've got some more of that embossed excuse me, embossed cardstock and some lace trim, a little bit of that vintage wallpaper. Book page, took an image here and just layered some paper and some trim. Layering of fabrics here, flips up. This is a book page, and I love those blues. Boy, do I love those blues. And here I've layered some sari silk and eyelet, a book page, some washi tape. Here I've got 2 pockets, and this is some sample swatches of some of the fabrics that are actually in this journal. And you could add something here and on the back, and then that goes right back in the pocket. I stenciled a little bit on that pocket and this one and the back page. So we've got tags and journaling spots in those 2 pockets. Some more stenciling, some fabric here on this flip. This can flip out. And here I've stitched some lace trim. The back page of the fabric page, Here I've layered fabric and lace on the edge of this page. Just beautiful textures and layers. You can see how they cascade down the sides and across the bottom. And there's those pretty buttons. And I love this page. This is again a part of the cover on one of my previous journals, and I photographed it, printed it out as a page, added some elements here, and then this beautiful butterfly is from a book, and made a journaling tag there that tucks up in. And this is a pocket that needs something in it, obviously. And again, part of one of my previous covers that made into a page. Some collaging. Here I made a pocket, and I love the colors here. I've got some lace, and this tag, I took a scrap from a handkerchief that had this beautiful scalloped crocheted trim and made a bow, and you could journal on that tag and put it right back in the pocket. Some collaging of paper, end of signature, second signature. I have a tag that goes in here and I didn't put it back, and I've layered items here, some cheesecloth and some lace. Over here, very pretty colors. This was in a flower book, and this was part of this page, so I saved it. You could cover it or journal around it, journal on the back, and some pretty paper to journal on tucks right in there. Coffee dyed paper, another pocket with another tag. Lots of machine stitching around the edges, and this is a pocket as well. I layered all of this onto this book page. I love the colors in this one and how it flows over into this book page with some lavender and green. Repeats those colors. Love these colors too. And I made this tag that clips on. This is coffee dyed paper layered with some embossed cardstock and lace. This journaling card, I just layered some papers, did some stitching, and clipped that back on. See how the lace hangs at the bottom, very pretty. And this is a fabric pocket with some cardstock, and this is one of my photos. Jazzed it up in Photoshop and ran some blue thread around the edges. A pretty lace swatch up there. This is a vintage greeting card, and to match the little bit of gold that was on the card, I did some heat embossing and attached that to the edge. Love these layers. Look at those layers all the way across there. Very pretty. This is a photo that I took of a bird, and I used Photoshop to turn that into a digital stamp. Love that. Love those colors. Can you tell I like blue? Just love blue. And this tag, put this image on as the focal point. Fussy cut a couple butterflies and added that, and you can journal, and you can take that off the paper clip and place it anywhere in the journal you like. Another book page. For this page, I've got some lace trim down here, some embossed cardstock, and all this pretty paper, and then I folded this corner down to just make a spot that peeks through to the next page, and then I stenciled a little in gold there so you can peek through and see the butterfly coming up on the next page. Love the bee. From a book. Coffee dyed paper. This is the center of the signature, and again, you can see some of those. Looks like a rat's nest right now, but those are the buttons on the signature string. Some pretty buttons there. This one is my favorite with the gold trim on it. The butterfly again, some edging. This is a mix of coffee dyed paper, book page, embossed cardstock. I've got some sheer fabric with embroidery on it. This is a piece of scrap from a dresser scarf. And I love this page too. This is again from a previous journal. I photographed it, printed it out as paper, and then one of my photos, I printed it out and left the room on the side where I ran this end through the embosser, and I really like that tag. You could journal on that and place that right back in there. Some more lace trim down here. Love these colors. This is a piece of the yellow dresser scarf. This main piece was the cover of my previous journal. And here I've got some eyelet trim, some collage of paper, and a fussy cut butterfly. This page was coffee dyed, then run through a printer, and I made a pocket here, and then this all folds out. You can journal there. And I've got a tag stuck in that pocket. I like how this just hangs down across this pleated fabric, and you can journal there. Some embossed wallpaper, some washi tape, some stitching, wallpaper pocket. Again, I collaged some papers and added some butterflies, a nice tag. In here, a fabric flip and a pretty piece of scrap crochet trim at the top, a book page, coffee dyed paper. This flips out. Some pleated fabric, I love those colors. And the back of the cover, I made a fabric pocket. I just collaged some fabric, piece of eyelet here, some more of that pleated fabric, and that quilted fabric for the cover. I've got a pretty blue envelope, and this little journal with pockets goes in there, and there you have the back of the journal. I love this journal. I really love this journal. I loved working on it too. And I'm looking forward to maybe making another one using this fabric. I got enough to do too. So thanks for watching. Have a good day, folks. Take care of each other and be safe. Bye.